Hello and a warm welcome to this webinar about the new Epiroc PCD drill bits. My name is Johanna Samuelsson and I will be your host taking you through this very exciting hour that we have in front of us. And let me tell you that this webinar is more than just a new product because we're actually at a defining moment in the rock drilling industry and we're here to talk about a technology shift. Joining me in the studio, I have three very interesting guests, starting with you, Martin Hjelpe. You're the president of the Tools Division. And later on, we will also be joined by Jonas Falkeström, who is manager of the Global Innovation and Technology, and also Bahadir Agene, who is the Global Business Manager for the PCD portfolio. And we look forward to sharing some valuable information with you and also addressing any questions that you might have. I know that our experts, Jonas and Bahadir, they are very eager to answer any questions that might come their way. And the webinar will run for approximately 60 minutes, and that's including the Q&A section. So I really encourage you to take the opportunity and ask anything that you might be curious about regarding the Epiroc PCD drilling and bits during this Q&A section later on. Also good to know that your questions will be anonymous. We're so happy that you are tuning in, and I hope and truly believe that you will find this session very interesting. But let's kick things off by turning to you, Martin. A warm welcome to start with. And I am curious to know, what is it that makes this launch such a milestone for you?
Thank you, Anna. I'm really glad to be here today, and it's fantastic that we can launch this new generation of PCD bits. I think we've always been proud of being pioneers in the industry. We were among the first to go from steel teeth to cemented carbides decades ago, and we are also pioneering the use of PCD in the mining industry. We've been doing that for a couple of years, but now we're launching a next generation that will be even more effective and efficient, and that will help our customers drive productivity in the industry. So I'm really, really glad that we can do that here today.
So then you're also saying that the industry is kind of following you in this.
I think so, and I also hope so. I believe that we will see here also today how the PCD bits help really accelerate the transformation in the industry. We know that for a lot of different applications, the PCD bit will be much, much more effective and efficient than the traditional cemented carbide bits. And it will help not the least with automation and safety. Fewer bit changes means that people will not be in harm's way as often. And also with more efficiency and more life of bit, we will have less material used, and the CO2 footprint will also be significantly lower. And all this will be beneficial both for the productivity of our customers and for the sustainability of the industry.
Great intro and a very great overview. And I know that Jonas and Bahadir will be sharing more about these things as well later on, of course. Before you leave, do you have any last words or something that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, as I mentioned before, we've done a PCD bit here in the mining industry now for a couple of years. We're now launching a new next generation. But part of that has also been we've invested a lot in the innovation and the technology, and also in industrializing the manufacturing of these bits so that we can bring this to more customers in more situations. And this will never be the bit that will be used for all kinds of applications in all kinds of mining and construction segments, but it will be absolutely key and critical to drive productivity in certain challenging applications. And again, Jonas and Bahadir will talk more about when and what, and I'm really excited about that.
Thank you so much, Martin, for stopping by. And now let's take a moment to enjoy the launch film for the Epiroc PCD technology.
We broke new ground with Epiroc PowerBit X, a long-lasting drill bit requiring no regrinding. Now, we are crushing it with the next generation of diamond-protected drill bits. Get ready for faster drilling, straighter holes, productivity that skyrockets, next-level automation, and safer operations thanks to fewer bit changes. The future is here. Say hello to Epiroc PCD drill bits and enjoy the benefits of being protected by diamonds.
Back into the studio, and a very impressive film about impressive technology. And as you can see, I have been joined by Jonas and Bahadir. You're very welcome. Happy to have you here. And I would say that I would like to put you in the hot seat, Jonas. This technology is very close to your heart, right?
Absolutely, it is. And I think Martin mentioned a few of the reasons why. And as a team in Epiroc as well, I think it's close to many of our hearts that we can actually help the industry in this way, and quite excited to be here with you guys and all of Epiroc team behind us to present this to our customers today.
But you have to tell us then, what's the secret?
Yeah, let's start with the polycrystalline diamond itself. I think some of our in the audience has experienced this product, but for the rest of you, polycrystalline diamond, it's a very hard, durable, wear-resistant structure that we put on top of our inserts. So it is mainly industrial-produced diamond grit or diamond powders that we put on top of our cemented carbide inserts, and then we sinter it in high temperature and high pressure to create this polycrystalline diamond structure that we then put in our drill bits. So that's the kind of logical next step to take, whatever is harder than cemented carbide and use that as a drilling material.
Very smart and very impressive. Is this something that you discovered, Jonas?
Unfortunately not. I wasn't even alive, but more than 50 years ago, PCD or industrial diamonds were kind of synthesized and quite soonly adopted in the mining or in the drilling industry, especially for deeper wells. This has been a big game changer and problem solver in that industry, but it has always been a potential technology for mining application and percussive drilling. So it has been tested for years. I would not say that we invented it, but the way we use it ourselves in percussive applications now is new to the industry and quite innovative. I think most of all, it's been around for a long time, and why it hasn't been adopted more widely has been the cost versus the performance ratio. Why do you want this performance? And I think the timing is becoming more and more relevant, and we feel really right now that this is a good timing for us to go heavy into PCD technology.
And why is it a good timing for you right now?
Yeah, there is actually many things or many reasons for our customers to want this technology more and more every year. And that has been our rationale making these investments in PCD technology. We can start with safety. Martin mentioned it, but exposing the operator unnecessarily, we can avoid that, or we can at least reduce it a lot with PCD inserts. Demand for higher productivity. We see that our customers are challenged both by falling ore grades, so they need to increase productivity to get efficiency in their operations. But also if we go for the higher grades, we need to go deeper. And that also poses a challenge to productivity. And the PCD drill bits will help there. And then we talk about automation in that context as well, that in Epiroc we are doing our utmost to make this more sophisticated machine that can run automated sequences or be run on tele remote. So if you have to stop and change drill bits many times or frequently, PCD bits is actually helping a lot. You don't have to manually go out and intervene with the autonomous cycle. So this is a big benefit. The last thing I want to address is the environmental aspect. We'll talk a little bit more about the life cycle later on, but for the environment, we need fewer bits. If they last much, much longer, you need much fewer drill bits, and this is good throughout the supply chain. We need less critical metals and minerals that we use for producing drill bits. We use less transportation. Inside the mine is a logistics game to get this to work with circuit stocks, transportations to back and forth to grinding workshops and so on. So there is many global trends now, safety trends, environmental trends, trends on or demands for productivity. There is a lot of legislations coming up, and our customers really want to comply with these regulations, and also investors' requirement on their business. So we hope that we will bring our little piece to this puzzle, and that the technology will continue to be more and more relevant as the time goes here.
Yeah, sounds definitely like the timing is right. And I guess that you have already tested this technology, though.
Yes, and many of our customers as well joining this webinar today. We did launch 3 years ago, almost 4 now, PowerBit X, our first generation. And that was very exciting times. And I think we have learned a lot during these years. We have learned what works very well, and we have learned also what doesn't work so well. And this new launch today is actually our attempt to address all those pain points and correct whatever did not work so well.
Perfect. And really time to shine now, because this is where it all comes down to, I would say. Why is a PCD drill bit different from other drill bits there is?
Yeah, I covered it already a little bit from the trends, what it actually does.
Yeah.
But how it does it it actually is multi-dimensional, you can say. The first one is uninterrupted drilling. So it doesn't mean that it only enables automation. Even if you have a manual drill rig and you are positioned to do your job in the mine site, the PCD drill bit will last much longer. And since that is the most frequent item that you have to replace during a drilling cycle, if you can extend that or even eliminate it maybe in the blasting pattern, then it makes a lot of difference in the productivity of your machine. So you can utilize your machine much better by drilling uninterrupted. The other topic we touched already, it's the bit changes. So if we can reduce the exposure of operators in front of the machine to do these manual bit changes, we drastically reduce the potential for accidents. The same goes for regrinding. So if you go, I would say, both upstream and downstream from the usage point of the drill bit, you have a logistics inside our customer's operation that we reduce drastically as well. So let's pretend that the bit lasts 5 times longer. That is a quite common multiple. Then you will need 5 times less transports of drill bits. You will need 5 times less climbing in and out of the drill rig and so on. So there's a big potential, and customers change drill bits thousands of times or tens of thousands of times per year, and these bits are also regrinded. So the PCD bit is too hard to be regrinded. So the shape doesn't change that much by drilling in rock, and you can't regrind it. So grinding is completely eliminated. Then we have the part of enabling automation and tele-remote. So those people that partner up with Epiroc and implements automated sequences or tele-remote, they have a huge benefit of not having to change drill bits frequently. And we will actually see a short movie clip from Canada. And in this movie clip, the customer had problems with very short grinding intervals. So they were not able to complete a full hole. So they had to actually do in-hole replacement. And you will see they had a manual rod handling, so not the sophisticated machine. So that imposes quite a lot of strain and exposure to the operator to lift those pipes and also change those heavy ITH bits. So this clip in Canada is actually our transformation from cemented carbide bits to the Epiroc PCD drill bits. So enjoy.
Yeah. So for the past year, we've been providing them bits, between 10 and 12 bits per month, and they're averaging around 700 meters per bit in this particular tough, difficult, abrasive rock conditions.
For our contract, we have to send a lot of bit, and with a PCD bit, we use only between 10 or 12 bit a month. And with the other bit, and with the best bit we got, we use around 60 and 80 bit per month.
Well, great clip that really emphasizes what you are saying. And if you're interested, the full length of this is to be found on Epiroc's YouTube channel as well, where you can find more case videos.
Yeah, good. If I may add a little
Johanna. So this is generally believed that, there's an exceptional value for the customers, and we will see a quick and very healthy return of the investment, which I will explain more. But there's a big team is working behind this. So the Jonas and the team is doing a very great job. So maybe Jonas, you can also
I
explain.
can elaborate
Yeah.
a little bit, and correctly, we would not be here at all without our team, and especially our hard materials team here in Fagersta has been essential. But now having our valuable customers online as well, I think our sales represents out there in different countries, and also our customers has been key for us to reach this point where we are today. So our result of all our efforts together with our customers, with the technology team and so on, is actually that we can make this technology much more available to more customers.
That's very interesting. How do you do that then?
Yeah, and this is the big news today, I think, that several years back, we understood these trends. We saw that in the mining industry, the need for safety, higher productivity, sustainability will only be of more and more importance. And this PCD technology ticks all of those boxes, more or less. So we took a decision to invest ourselves in both capability and capacity to make the PCD inserts ourselves, to put the Epiroc quality stamp on all the PCD bits throughout the supply chain. And this has many benefits, apart from us being able to, accelerate the technology shift. We can ensure the quality in a different way. We can also secure lead time and capacity. It's in our own hands, so we can supply to our customers with some good confidence. And most important of all is we are controlling the development curve ourselves, because we think that even though this is a very exciting launch and we're breaking new ground, we will hopefully stand here many times in the next coming years and present new breakthroughs, how we apply the PCD technology onto our drill bits, and really position Epiroc as a technology leader, being able to produce PCD bits more cost efficient.
Perfect. I'm really looking forward for what's the future to come as well. But we touched upon a few things, but can you walk us through its major features and benefits?
Yeah, and you see the bits in front of me here. There's a sample of some products from the Epiroc PCD drill bits, which will replace the previous PowerBit X products. So I will walk you through some of the main benefits of this particular product. What we learned in the beginning or throughout these years is that when we just replaced cemented carbide buttons with diamonds, our customers actually drilled larger holes because of the low diameter wear that we have on the PCD drill bits. They never got close to the discard diameter. So on average, our customers drilled bigger holes, and that also made the possibility for the drill string to flex a little bit more. So the full potential of drilling straighter was not achieved with the PowerBit X because the holes were too big. What we have done now is that we have adjusted all the diameters to actually fall inside of the customer's requirement of hole size, but not making them unnecessarily big to reduce this annular space between the drill steel and the rock wall to minimize the potential bend of the drill steel. We have also learned, in the beginning, I would say we just replaced cemented carbide buttons with standard buttons. And here we have done many experiments with, bigger buttons, smaller buttons, more buttons, and found a new kind of optimum for these top hammer drill bits mainly. And you see the bits on the table, they have significantly more buttons and slightly smaller, just to get this more efficient breaking of the rock. Also the flushing we have improved. So the flushing configuration is slightly different on PCD bits to enable better cooling. Hole straightness is one of the key things that we trying to promote. You can see we have a retract or guide skirt on the drifter bit as well because of the smaller wear. That helps initially to make the holes much straighter. But even on the larger bit, like production drilling bit, we have increased the amount of material and the diameter of the guide skirt to match this smaller wear of the buttons. So few minor things that will be very important for the product performance has been incorporated in this new assortment. It's a wider assortment. We have more sizes to choose from. We have more threads that it connects to. We proudly introduced our first bolting bit. So we have a smaller 44 millimeter bit for friction bolt installment, which has shown very positive results, much more successful bolt installations because we keep the diameter very consistent in this application. Apart from that, widening the assortment, fixing these small things, the big thing for us is the new PCD grade, the Epiroc PCD grade that we proudly announced today. So that's it.
Great run through. Thank you so much. And I have to say, this sounds like good business.
Yes, exactly. Let me explain you a little bit on that. The math is very simple. When you have the Epiroc PCD drill bits, you will have a higher hole quality, the consistent drilling, and this is also improve your all operations immediately. So you will see the impact, and then the one PCD bit is going to replace a lot of standard bits. So you will drill, the continuously in the operation, which brings you a lot of, the aspects like Jonas has mentioned that, the safety will improve, then you will have the productivity increase.
Well, I'm not in the mining industry, but everything that you're talking about really wish I were. So why would you say, Bahadir, that these are so good for the mining industry?
And well, it's always, we first of all, we can always have a good, business case and, you can get a deal from me. But on the, the serious note, I think we should, explain this breakdown into three major, benefits.
That sounds great. Where do we start?
Okay, we start with the productivity. Yeah. First of all, we talk about Epiroc PCD bits, how it boosts your, the work, and they help you to drill, the faster, and also the perfect straight holes. Like Jonas mentioned that, you will have the straight holes where will also help you the performance of the blasting. And then this means that you get more in the less time. This means that you have the drilling rigs, that you complete the job before it's, and then you can take it to the other place. And then it's long lasting, which is the bits can, they replace many standard bits. And I will also touch a little bit on the logistics side. So the cost is a little bit upfront, but when you make the business case, you will definitely see that all the benefits with this PCD bits will, the return of investment will be much, the better, and overall cost will be lower. And the best part is switching to this, the drill bits, can save you a lot of hours. So this means that, you don't need to, spend that much hours on drilling, so you can speed up your operations and your productivity at the mine site.
Is there something that you want to add to what Bahadir is saying about that, Jonas?
I can add about the hole quality again. We make this constant diameters of the hole, which in itself is a great thing for the whole drilling cycle and also the quality of the holes that we drill. But also, like I mentioned, the ability to drill much straighter holes. When you have a smaller, more calibrated hole, your ability to get bend on the drill steel is much less. So this is a big improvement for the productivity. And when we say productivity, in Epiroc, we mainly talk about the drill rig, how it's produced, but we also need to consider the downstream productivity when it comes to the blasting, the fragmentation, and the material handling afterwards, which we hope that done right, PCD bits can play a big, important role.
And I think that there's actually a case video for this as well.
Yes, correct. So, and that relates to automation. Yeah. So we will see a short video now, which is from one of our partners and valuable customers in Sweden, Boliden, which we did an automation project with a few years back, demonstrating the potential for diamond technology.
Det här testet har gått över förväntan. Kronorna borrade många mer metrar än vi hade hoppats på. Så att det öppnar verkligen möjligheter att fortsätta vår automationsresa.
And again, the full length of this video is also to be found on the YouTube channel as well. I suppose that the places where you don't run automated operations but need people is perhaps where the second benefit kicks in.
Yes, exactly. As you saw it in the video, the safeties are, on the top of our agenda. So when you see the operator goes in the front of the machine where it is not supported ground, it's very dangerous to be there. If you eliminate, we call it like a zero entry onto that place, it will definitely eliminate or, reduce all this risk. And also it's very beneficial for the, the business, because it's when you said the fewer bit changes, this means that you can utilize your machine and reduce also the, the staff turnover. What I mean by that, you also reduce the, the grinding operation, and then your people, the working at the mine site will be,
spending less time on that. And also when your staff feels safe, they will also enjoy to work with these products, and definitely this will be an enabler so that you will, to promote more on this drilling operation, which makes, do a better job. And of course that improves the business side of it.
And looking to what kind of hazards do we get less with Epiroc PCD drill bits, Jonas?
Yeah. Generally, our customers' mines are beautiful places, but they are a little bit dark. They are, damp. They're slippery, wet, and so on. There are many hazards in an underground mine, and every bit change we have seen as a potential danger for the operators. So, and we're not talking about a small decrease of bit changes. If the customer has problem with frequent bit replacements and the PCD bit works well, we talk about tens of thousands of bit changes that you can actually displace annually in a typical underground mine. So that is huge, and that's the main benefit. And hopefully our customers don't have issues in front of the drill rig, but we know that accidents do happen, and if we can reduce the frequency, we can reduce the accidents. So that is a very important thing. And then you have all these logistics related to the grinding program that will be eliminated. So the grinding itself is not maybe the best working environment. We in Epiroc, of course, working to improve it and make it more efficient and better to grind bits as well. But the PCD bit eliminates that whole process, which has its own risky moments or tasks. And related to that, you have traffic. So all the bits has to go back and forth to the grinding workshop and stocking location. So underground traffic, we see that we can reduce quite a lot as well with PCD drill bits.
And what would you say about that, Bahadi, about this not have to regrind? What significant bonus would you say that is?
I think let's start with the transportation cost, because it's there is a big traffic happening at the mine site. We would like to reduce the traffic, and also the sending bits back and forward to the grinding shop. Sometimes you don't have the grinding shop in underground, so it needs to go all the way up or in another location. So this will create a lot of the carbon footprint. And if you don't have the machine, that is important to think about the safety as well, because like Jonas mentioned that to take the bits, putting there going in front of the machine. So this adds up a lot of the process, plus it takes time and the space for the your operation and for your the team. By eliminating the regrinding, you can also address that all these points effortlessly. And plus the grinding workshop is not the right working the nice working place, because the sound the waste also you created there. So if you able to eliminate, which this Epiroc PCD this is allow you to do that, I think you will have a better workplace.
So great. We're talking about productivity and safety, but let's turn to the third benefit. And I think that the service life and no regrinding comes into play again.
Yeah, it is. And as Jonas, highlighted many essentially, the reasons, all of these will impact not only the environment, it also will impact on the P&L.
What would you say, why is sustainability such an important role for your customers?
Our customers, the business drive, we ensure that our products support and also even exceed the sustainability goals and practices. You will think that, just changing the bit, how much you can save in the, the carbon emissions, which we were explaining with a very nice business case. So then you will see that it's a big change. So we also maximize the energy efficiency during the production. Utilizing the recycled steel, renewable energy. So you will maximize the, the energy when you are drilling, which Jonas mentioned also about the full drill string will be benefit out of this. And fewer purchases, of course, fewer transport, the less space needed for this. And then, you're going to eliminate all this no maintenance, no grinding costs will be the benefits. And also bits are very more energy efficient when it's drilling, because you will be able to penetrate the energy to the ground. So, the no grinding means that no also energy used there as well. And then you will also save the life of the drill string. So we'll see in many cases that you have been also drilling that improve the full drill string lifetime. And then is there any automation again, Jonas?
Yeah, it is. But I can elaborate as well on the drill string, because having a more predictable bit phase actually improves the life of the upstream products as well, like the drill rods, both like drifter and multipass systems and shank adapter. So especially from changing bits. When you change bit, you need to rattle the bit loose or break the bit loose in some way. Now you're doing this, like I told, the bit changes can reduce bit tens of thousands of times. That means also your rattling or your abuse on the drill steel will be reduced with the same amount of times. And that has a huge impact on the service life. Thread on shank adapters, for example, lasts much longer. And we even see on the rock drill that we get better performance over the life cycle, and hydraulic hoses, less breakages of hydraulic hoses when using
Less stress on
a PCD bit. So all these things that needs to be replaced or potentially can stop the machine is a problem for automation or tele-remote. So this is how we see PCD drill bits becoming an enabler for Epiroc machines to run longer autonomous cycles, either if they are programmed to run, like a blast pattern or a drill plan, or if we run them tele-remote. We have come differently far in that journey in different applications, but our ambition is that we can do, like you say, zero entry mines. And how do you drill that phase or this production pattern without people involved? And not changing drill bit is one part of the solution.
So Epiroc minimizes the customer's impact from manufacturing to the bits are worn out.
Yes, exactly. So we are running different type of recycling programs since the commodity prices are changing every day. So it's very important that we keep the bits from the start to the finish, and we take them for recycling. As the main components like tungsten and cobalt, we need to the recycle it and put it back to the operations again, which will also overall lower our carbon footprint. Yes.
And in regards to service life and productivity, is there any way that we can use a rule of thumb there?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, when you look at the different cases, you will see a significant, the increase in the performance. Like you see this both two cases. Definitely, depending on the rock condition, of course, you will drill much more with the PCD bits. But like Martin mentioned in the beginning, it's not going to be the one for all. So it's not going to be the solution for everything. But when you have a real hard ground, when you have very abrasive ground, so definitely you will see a lot of benefits, the working on this. And we have different cases. Now we have, the customers from all around the world, like we mentioned, from Australia, India, the Turkey, Canada. So you see in Sweden also. So it's getting more and more linked with this, the trends in the industry. And then some applies on other cost and numbers, that when you look at the PCD technology and when you introduce it's a kind of, the one example you have seen it, you see also the side benefits, even in the manual operations like you've seen in Canada. Definitely it's like, it never needs the regrinding. So you will continuously drill in your operations, which will improve your productivity.
Maybe I can add a little bit. I usually, when we speak to customers and they are interested, we talk about this as a medicine, or we do the analogy of a medicine, saying that this will solve certain problems. And if the customer, if you are not having any of these symptoms, of course, maybe PCD is not for you. But we have seen one of the projects with Boliden. They were trying to utilize automation, drilling automated sequences much more efficiently, or actually be able to do it because they had a very short grinding interval. So frequent bit replacements in that particular area of the mine, and we managed to drill the full phase with one bit. So if customers want to pursue automation or tele-remote in some applications, this can be a key enabler. You had a case from Canada, which is more of a manual operations, but they had problems to keep up with their production as they had agreed. And also they had this manual labor, picking rods manually is a tedious task. So we removed that. So different customers have different problems. Very short grinding interval is of course a very good indication that they have, you do have a problem. Will this help? Hopefully, and most likely it will. It can be logistics as well. The mine in Canada that we work with is one example, but there are several mines that has, remote locations where transportation is an issue. You have to fit your regrind program in there as well with expensive, fly in, fly out maybe, and so on, resources to handle your regrinding program. So depending on the problem that our customer is experiencing, PCD bits can address it. But of course, like we said a few times now, it's not like a magical pill. It doesn't solve everything. It solves particular problems related to drill bit, both performance and logistics and things around drill bits.
But can you help the customers to evaluate if this is a good product for them individually, or?
Yeah, exactly. We run a lot of tests in different sites, as Jonas mentioned. Maybe one part of the mine, because the mines are going deeper. So when you go deeper, you will face with different, let's say the formations. Definitely, we are running tests together, and I've seen many cases when we run the business case plus the make the fine tune of the machine, it gives a very good results.
Sure.
Yeah, and I can add a lot of the reason why we do this webinar today as well, and inviting you customers is to be able to
welcome to test,
to present this new product, come out to the customers and do a demonstration. We will prepare, test kit for customers, and we gladly go out and support them to see if we can help them, and if this new generation of PCD bits fulfills the requirement even better than the previous one.
Well, thank you so much. I think that you have given us a great presentation about the new PCD drill bits. And before we dive into the Q&A section, is there anything that you would like to ask, or do you just want to deep dive into all the questions there might be?
I think let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead. So if you haven't already, feel free to send in your questions. And this has been a very high interest for this product. So we have already received some questions as well on beforehand. I'm going to get the technology up and running so I can see what's coming in. Let me start with a question. Are the new PCD drill bits compatible with the existing Epiroc drilling rigs?
Yeah, I can take that one. So definitely it is, the compatible, and also we have been testing with our own, the drill strings as well as the other drill strings. But sometimes, like Jonas said, we make it like a test package. So this is very good to use the system all together, like the shanks and the rods and the bits. So it gives you the really utmost of the performance. Yes, definitely it's compatible with the Epiroc rigs.
And yeah, rigs and drill systems, I think. And we did launch, recently the new tube drilling systems, the Epiroc tubes. That rollout will continue as well. So the Epiroc PCD drill bits is prepared to fit all those new drill strings as well, coming from Epiroc.
And I think that you might have touched upon this as well, but why has Epiroc chosen to fully own and invest in PCD technology development?
Yeah, I start and, we can go to you. Yeah. So it gives us, of course, a flexibility, because, we would like to also develop this in-house. So what you see today is like, the second generation, but we will not stop here. We would like to continue the third and the fourth generation. There are a lot of, the nice designs that which Jonas shared with me, so it's going to be like a continuous process. But when you have this technology in-house, you will be able to do it very quickly. And we need to be really fast to the market, because these trends that you see, the automation 0 and 3, and all our customers are also working on the same direction. It's developing so fast. So to do this, we need to control the process. Of course, we will collaborate with other divisions on this, the automation topics. But I think especially this technology, it's very good to have it in-house.
And as we anticipate, this will replace, a big portion of the traditional drill bits business. And Epiroc would like to be the business leader or the technology leader in this new business as well. So that is why we have taken this decision to own this technology and drive it ourselves forward towards this technology leadership, and unlocking more and more value for our customers with the PCD technology.
And this question is very interesting, I find as well. How do PCD drill bits handle sudden changes in rock conditions, such as transitions between soft and very hard layers?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and it's very common that you have this layered
in the mine.
Layered geology. I would say it handles it very well. This is also in combination with the Epiroc rock drill control system. The way that we control the rock drill, and also the drill settings, so how you fine tune the bit. But I would say that going in and out of different rock formation is less of a problem with PCD bits than it is with the traditional bits, especially if you take grades like iron ore, for example, you might need to have special bit for that next layer. PCD bits seems to work very well in different conditions, and especially if you go from soft to hard, the PCD bit is good, or even better, I would say, to enter that hard phase.
I give this example. There's like a Formula One car that, of course, the weather conditions are changing. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's dry, but the PCD bits are the same, that you can continue full your operations, even the different formation, the changes. But of course, at the end of the day, you need to watch the gauge, and we have these automation systems where you make the fine tune. But as far as I know, I've seen it in the sites that it works very nice.
Yeah, and I can comment one aspect, one thing that is important. I think we have solved these problems with fractures, like mechanical fractures from overload and so on, when going into harder formation. But if you see, for example, that this penetration rate becomes very slow, or that hard rock that you enter is very tough to advance, you will see a lot of revolutions of the drill bit per distance. That is not good. It generates excessive heat. Even on standard carbides, it's not good. So it will create more wear and less penetration. Yeah. And it's important then to handle the PCD bit a little bit differently, to go down a lot in rotation so that you don't excessively heat it, because it is more sensitive to heat generation. And that is also connected to flushing. So water flushing, water injection to air is better than dry air. And since we focus on underground, this is usually not a problem, but on surface this can or has to be considered as well when we do the trials.
And one thing that's also interesting is, even if PCD drill bits don't require regrinding, is there any recommended maintenance or something else that you're supposed to do to ensure that's a long lifespan of them?
I think most of our customers using PCD bits, they want to squeeze out all the value of them, so they drill them till destruction.
Yeah.
So usually they come out a little bit more torn up than the standard drill bits. I think what is good with them, that you can visually inspect it, because the way we do it in Epiroc is we have a layered technology, so we have transition layers to make the PCD layer more durable, and you can actually visually see, without measuring with a caliper or something, you can see how much the bit is actually reduced in size by looking at with your eye on the drill bit. You know that one layer exposed equals to 0.3 millimeter or something like that on the radius. So, but other than that, I think you can watch it, you can use it, you can enjoy it. It's how it is. No other maintenance is required.
But there's also, the viewers here are interested a bit about the recycling program. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, of course. First of all, don't throw anything out. So we need to, to collect all this, the pieces and put it back into the operation. The recycling program, of course, you need to put it in one safe place that we can collect it, and we send it to the, the recycling, let's say the partners. And then, we need to get of course, the body is important to steel, but the main part is the carbides, which consistent of this tungsten and the cobalt. And then when we get it back as a kind of a dust, because then you will see it hopefully today in the operations, and the dust turn into the carbide. So we want to lower the footprint as low as possible, because you put it in operation, like Jonas said, that of course bit is going to worn out, so you're going to leave some pieces in the ground, but at the end we want to get out of the most out of it. So with this recycling program, so please reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help you.
And talking about a bit of a business side, it really feels like, Maria, you said that it might be an investment, but like at the bottom line, there will be a major return on investment. But how much cheaper are the new Epiroc PCD drill bits compared to previous generations like the PowerBit X?
Yeah, this is a good question. And I think we already revealed we can produce them more cost efficiently with this new generation. But it's different in different countries, it's different with different customers, and the benefit, as I explained about this pill, you should not pay unnecessarily for. I mean, that will not make sense. So what we do is that we offer test packages with our customers We demonstrate the technology, and here I think Epiroc, we are willing to take some risk as well in this offers for the test packages. And once we have, shown the benefit of the product, we compile the data in our software and tools, and we come back to the customer with an offer. So it's more on a customer base that we do these deals.
Yeah.
I would like to add one thing about the tools, because it's all about the business case and every site is unique. So when you have an inquiry like this from your side, of course, looking at the unit price will not give you the full picture. Then you need to look at the total cost of ownership, what will be the benefits. We had a very nice visual, the tool that we can calculate, and then you can definitely see that, what will be the advantages of this in the productivity, increased safety, as well as the carbon emissions. And I've done these calculations a couple of times. Maybe we met many of the customers, and it's really amazing to show this as a full benefit package. So yeah, I'm happy to again, anytime reach out to me.
And there's a lot of question here about availability. When is it ready to be ordered? And also a few questions about the lead time.
Yes, I think I can talk, and then Jonas also mentioned, because if there is a ready product, with the design and everything, availability is, very short. But if there's something that we need to develop, then there is a design phase that we need to go through. But again, when you have the material, especially we have the bodies are the easiest part. The body we can, produce easily. When the carbides, it could take some time. But for the standard models, which you will see it in the sales presentation and the brochures, more or less all type of the bits are available to order now.
Yeah, I mean, this assortment, I think if you're interested, I think you should reach out to your local sales representative and make an inquiry for Epiroc PCD drill bits, and they are available to order from today.
Great news. So excellent questions and excellent answers, and any unaddressed questions will be answered afterwards as well. But I think it's time to wrap things up, and it has been very interesting. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Are you pleased, Jonas?
Very pleased, excited as well.
Pleased and excited. I think that's two great words. If you have to summarize Epiroc PCD with one sentence, what would that be?
I think right now it's more about pride. It's about Epiroc taking this. I would say that we're proud to present this opportunity for ourselves and for our customers.
I think you should be proud.
Yes.
And what about you, Bai?
Yeah, I'd like to say three things. And, this first of all is the higher quality, definitely. And then we have the greater consistency and fewer bit changes, which is the biggest pain point at the operation. And we are going to support the transformation of the mines for the future. So I'm really excited.
Thank you very much. Is there anything last that you would like to add before I wrap things up here?
I think we're done.
No, I think we cover all of them, but thanks for listening. Exactly, yeah.
Thank you very much for participating. And for now, goodbye from Fagersta.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.